Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today's video is going to be on all of my test tube colonies. Now I want to sort of do this at least once a month or so. So yeah, and also we have some new additions to this little collection, so let's get started in the video. Here's one of the new additions. This is my Camponotus Pennsylvanicus colony. We caught these girls I guess by now when I edit this, maybe a few weeks back when I ended up going down to the driftless region of Wisconsin to go anting with a few of my friends. You can see there's the queen, although not very well, because she's up against the thing, and you can see her big old pile of eggs there, the yellow stuff, the little yellow beads, although you can't really see right now. Kinda looks like mold, it isn't, obviously. There it is, right next to that worker. This colony has been doing absolutely great. They have been eating well, as you can see. This is actually their first meal with me, so you know, pretty much doing as good as they can. They're inside of a vial. Actually, the vial that they were kept in while I was transporting them, I decided to just dump them out, put some cotton in it with some water, and, well, they're going to be staying in here until eventually this dries out, and I'll have to figure out something else to move them into when that happens. This isn't my first time keeping Camponotus Pennsylvanicus, but it is the first time keeping them on the channel, I think. Unless if I uploaded the videos of my first colony, then never mind, I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, on to the next colony. Here is a colony given to me by my good friend, Midwest Antics. This is my Tetramorium sessile colony. Absolutely beautiful queen, huge pile of eggs and larvae, and also a decent pile of pupae. You can see actually a few callos in this shot here, right next to the queen. This colony has around 50 to 100 workers, and should be getting a whole lot more by the end of the year. It wouldn't surprise me if they got elates, but there's a chance that they won't for this year because of, well, them being a little bit too small, possibly. This queen also comes from a region where they are monogynous, or thought to be monogynous. He doesn't exactly know, but there's a chance that they do not get more than just this one queen, but that is okay because the one queen colonies can get pretty big as well, and are also a little bit more interesting to keep because the queens get extremely physicogastric. You can see this worker eating a nice little snack of honey here. I ended up feeding them this yesterday, and I also fed them a mealworm, which you can see in the corner there. You can see that they did lose a few workers, but I think that was purely of old age, not exactly any honey-related deaths. You can see they are really itching to get out of this test tube, but they're just small enough where I don't have to actually move them out of the test tube or give them an outworld yet. And here is another new addition. This is my Tetramorium Immigrants colony. This was given to me by also Midwest Antics. This colony is obviously doing okay. It has a few nenetics, it has a few eggs and larvae, but overall it's a small colony. These were the first ants I had ever kept, ever, back in 2017. This was the first colony, or rather queen, that I could ever get my hands on. It was under a piece of rock with a few nenetics. I collected them, and the colony ended up growing to at least 10,000 workers. But the colony ended up dying in 2021, so, you know, I lost them, but they were a great species to have, and I can't wait to actually get this colony going. Tetramorium immigrants, out of all of the common ants that are found throughout the US, probably get the biggest colonies, at least when it comes to common ants in the northern US. Absolutely massive colonies. Colonies probably get to around 10 to 15,000 workers, and yeah, let's move on to the next colony. This is a colony that pretty much all you guys who have watched the last videos know. This is my Formica Montana. Absolutely beautiful ants, and I've pretty much babied the entire time that I've had them. They have done absolutely great inside of this test tube, although the test tube is now drying out, so I'm gonna have to get them a new one. As you can see, they are eating mealworms and honey here, and honestly I don't know what else to say about them. They've been growing pretty well. They have a lot of eggs and larvae, so yeah, they also have a pupae somewhere, but I don't think I ended up ever getting it in shot, so yeah. On to the next colony. Here is one of many of my Lasius brevicornis colonies. You can see they are drinking a lot of honey here, and here are their queens. They have about 5 queens in total in this colony. They have a good decent pile of eggs and a good pile of pupae still waiting to hatch. They have quite a few nenetics, probably around about 15 to 20, which is around about average for the species. You can see them all huddled up here, but of course this is not exactly the biggest colony that I have, so we're going to continue just do a little bit of a speed run of all of the Brevicornis colonies I own. Here is the queen group with the most queens. This colony has around about 7 queens. 7. That is probably the biggest that you can get Brevicornis to have without them having extremely bad success rates. This colony probably has around about 30 to 40 workers, and they have a great pile of brood. This colony is doing the great out of all of them. If anything, I'm going to end up keeping this colony over any of the other colonies that I have currently. You can see them enjoying quite a bit of sugaries right there. With this species, you don't exactly want to feed them a lot of honey, because otherwise they do have a very big risk of drowning, because they don't exactly do well when around water. Here is my 3 queen group. You can see this colony is very thirsty for honey here. Here are the 3 queens. You can actually see males. Now this happens every once in a while with the species. It's not exactly, uncommon for them to randomly produce males. In fact, actually, my past colony that was 4 queens did the exact same thing when they were in the early stages of colonyhood, I guess. You can see they are absolutely enjoying this honey. These ants are so sugar wanting, it's kind of insane. And here is the last colony. This is my Lasius neoniger colony. The other colony I owned sadly ended up passing away because of their test tube drying up and me not noticing, but this colony is doing absolutely great, and I hope to grow these guys out for a very long time. As you can see, they're enjoying a nice little bit of trophallaxis there. I gave them honey, which is why they have so much stuff. You can see some eggs right against the test tube here, and yeah, there's not really much else to update you on, besides from that I moved them into a different test tube setup. So yeah, that is the end of the video. Like the video if you like it, dislike if you dislike it, subscribe if you're new, check out my Instagram, check out my Patreon, check out the server down below, and Keeping An Anthology, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.